big song, like the big hit that they had many years ago. Was that Beautiful Face or Beautiful? I forgot the name of that. Where
Um,
you know, um, don't you know, that you had the most beautiful
do
face?
you realize
Do you
the name of the
realize?
song? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
Really, the big song was uh, what's the one she don't use jelly? What's the I forgot the name of the
she doesn't
that was
use
the biggest song.
she doesn't use jelly.
Yeah.
Well, what are they talking about? Singing about?
Uh, so
She
from
only has peanut butter sandwiches.
we'll have
She
to
doesn't put jelly
we'll
to
have to
the
cover that song. I
no
I
jelly to the peanut. That's
it's a
dry.
bit
Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Into the Music. My name is Greg, and that guy over there is Chris. And Chris, what do you got for me tonight?
okay. I've got a song by a band I believe you know, the Flaming Lips.
Yeah, I do.
And I think they have some kind of ointment for that. But anyway, um, the name of the song, the name of the whole name of the song, it's a long one, is Suddenly Everything Has Changed, and then parenthetically, Death Anxiety Caused by Moments of Boredom.
Wow.
I don't know if they show, I don't know if they're going to show that in the video because I haven't watched it. You can
Wow.
let me know afterwards. Go listen to it. Let me know if they put the whole title in there.
Well, with that lip joke, suddenly everything has changed. Just don't want to do this anymore.
All right,
All right.
see you, man. This is gonna be a short video.
Yeah. All right, I'll stick it out for this one. All right,
Okay.
cool.
Putting all the vegetables away that you bought at the grocery.
Bring that back just a little bit. I love that bass. That bass line just takes off. It's like a running kind of bass. Something like that.
Putting all the vegetables away that you bought at the grocery store today.
God, that's so good.
And it goes fast. Think of the past. Suddenly, everything has changed.
Those strings are beautiful. Wow. I'm gonna bring it back a little bit, but I love how I'm trying to understand what the song's about, but caught the line, everything has changed, and so this is a change. This is a change up here, and this might be signifying like whatever change he's talking about. And yeah, the title. I'm looking at the video again. Suddenly everything has changed. So this might be like, this is that change that's happening. All right. one more stop. I'm gonna try to take it out the rest of the way. My apologies. I'm gonna bring it back. I'm stopping again because that part right there, when they went, that sounded like Yes, like, and it even sounded like the lead singer's voice changed a little bit. Sounded like John Anderson from Yes, and not only John Anderson's voice, but just again like that and just musically too. It sounded like Yes from the old days. All right, cool. I think I might have gotten it. Let's take it out.
Driving home, the sky accelerates, and the clouds all form a geometric shape. And it goes fast. Think of the past. And suddenly everything has changed.
There's those strings again, man. They're beautiful. I like that guitar.
Put in all the clothes you washed away.
There's that running bass
As
again.
you're folding up the shirts, you hesitate. Then it goes fast. Think of the
Another change up.
past. Suddenly, everything has changed.
Nope. Oh, good. All right. So that was real pretty, really. A lot of change ups there. And again, I gotta stop that. Nice snowy field there. Always car commercials too. Anyway, a lot of change ups, right, for a song about change, and the strings were beautiful, um, and just really interesting. So I'm not gonna really take a stab at right now what the song might be about. I mean, I could take the easy way out and just say it's about change. I think, something like that. But got to talk with Chris and see what he has to say about the song. But that was really good first listen. Definitely interested in listening to it again and finding out more about the Flaming Lips. And I have come back.
So you have. Has anything changed?
It's a beautiful song. It really
Okay,
was.
good, good. I
It
thought
was.
you'd like it.
Yeah. I think the song, right? That big song, like the big hit that they had many years ago, was that Beautiful Face or Beautiful? I forgot the name of that. Where don't you know? That you had the most beautiful face.
Do you realize?
Do you realize? Yeah. So,
Really, the big song was what's the one she don't use jelly? I forgot the name of the.
she doesn't.
That was
use,
the biggest song.
She doesn't use jelly.
Yeah.
Well, what are they talking about? Singing about? She only has peanut butter sandwiches.
We'll have to.
Doesn't put jelly
we'll
to
have
the.
to cover that song.
Jelly to the peanut. That's dry.
It's a bit of a silly song.
My father used to eat peanut butter sandwiches, no jelly. That was like, I don't know how he did it. But anyway, I digressed. Yeah, but that was a beautiful song. Not the jelly one, but the other one about the, do you realize? It was gorgeous. So that's the only one that I really had going in my head to sort of compare against. And this one, it was beautiful. There was moments where they had strings
Yeah.
in the song, and like if I remember, I'm trying to remember now, and I wrote some notes down here. I write really messy, so I could be like, what did I write? But I think at the beginning there was like um, an acoustic start there, and oh yeah, right. And then like there was a guitar. I don't know if it was acoustic or if it was like an electric guitar that was just unamped, but there was a couple of strums there,
Yeah.
along
Yeah.
with yeah, that was really really
And there
interesting.
was, I think there was a theremin too. I can't find information like that on this
Okay,
particular song,
yeah.
but I looked up the album, and yeah, they use a theremin
So
thing. So
describe
it
what a
sounded
theremin
like
is.
that.
So describe what that is.
It's like in the original Star Trek, in that whistling kind of thing. Sounds like a slide whistle. Like the
Okay,
original
yeah.
Star Trek theme.
All
Yeah, and they
right.
used it a lot in a lot of older science
Yeah,
fiction
now I'm trying to
movies.
recall if I heard that. Yeah. And then the bass. And I love this. I
Oh, the
love
way the bass came in was great.
the
Yeah.
way the bass, and they did that intentionally, right? I think to match the lyrics at that time. I thought, because when it kicked in, I was like, "Whoa, this is really good," you know?
Wait, wait,
And
wait, wait, wait. What you're talking about when he says putting all the vegetables away, or the part where they start singing suddenly everything has changed? Because they both have prominent bass sounds, but when it goes into suddenly everything has changed, it's this really incredibly low bass,
right. So
like
let's
just really low.
Right. So let's pull it back more in the beginning of the song after the whole introduction. Then the bass kicks in, and it's like a and it like kind of is almost like it starts to run. And I thought this was really interesting. It was almost like a running type of sort of riff sound. And I was like, this is really interesting. And then I'm like trying to pick up some of the lyrics, and I heard him, and I wrote down some of the words, um, where he was saying, um, things got things thing, things got fast. And as he's singing that, the bass is going, and
Yeah,
then he
yeah,
changes to, at some point he says, as we move from the past, and then that's when the overall music sound of the song changed. It changed to more like a slower, and I think that's when the
right,
strings maybe started happening. And I
right.
just got this sense, and again, I'm not totally sure what the song's about, except I think it's like, talking about, moving from the past to the future. And that music right there was like signifying the change, sort of like, time, or Dark Side of the Moon, couple of songs there where, it's like that whole thing is a concept, it's just from the time you're born straight to when you pass on. And I felt like in this song it was almost like, they were doing some of that, with the music, and that bass playing, in the beginning, to me, that sort of signified kind of like, that you're young, maybe you're moving quick, you're moving from your past to the future. And because everything slowed down after that, when he started saying, as we move from the past. I thought, I don't know how, spot on or not even close.
Mm.
But if I am like anywhere close, I think that's just really interesting. Do you
Yeah,
have any? Yeah.
yeah. I got a very different
Wow. Okay.
impression
So
of the lyrics. To me, it's everything suddenly changes right at that time. He's putting the vegetables away. He's doing mundane things. He's doing everyday things, right? Putting all the clothes you washed away. He's thinking of the past, and then he says, suddenly everything has changed. I think it's kind of like a shift in perspective that might cause it, but it's hard to articulate this, but um, like sometimes all of a sudden, kind of out of the blue, my sense of things around me just kind of shifts a little bit, and I can't explain it beyond a feeling, you know. Um,
yeah.
and it's funny when that happens. I think of this song sometimes,
Wow.
and
Yeah.
I can't articulate it any further. It's so subjective, and it's just a feeling.
I, I
Um,
don't I don't know how far we really are, though, because I think you're describing in the song there was a certain moment, a certain thing, where, that change, he was in the moment, he sort of sensed that he's kind of, but that's still like a moment of change, and where, you know
Yeah, but
you
I
have
meant I wasn't thinking about it kind of over a long period of time, like you were saying. your interpretation of it was.
Yeah, I
But
guess because I was comparing it to the Pink Floyd where that was over a period of time, but I
Mhm.
think it still doesn't have to be that, it still was at some point, there's a change, it could be there's
Yeah.
change over all
Plus, they
along,
say
and there's changes at certain moments like you're talking about, which is really interesting too,
yeah.
yeah,
Well, plus it says you think of the past, so that might lend itself to your interpretation.
yeah,
But I've looked up some comments online about this song, and of course, some people think it's like when you take a hallucinogen and all of a sudden it kicks in. But there's always someone who says a song is about drugs, and I think some songs are, but I think that interpretation cheapens it. I think
right.
that
Well, it
is
might be coming from people
always
who actually, I'm
plus.
not trying to be funny, but maybe it's people who actually have,
Well, I'm sure Wayne Coyne, and that's the front man, of course,
yeah,
and his bandmates have experimented at
there's a
least.
good chance,
Well,
right?
there. Let me just give you some couple of facts here.
Sure.
This came out in 1999, and it came from an album called The Soft Bulletin. And Flaming Lips are from Ohio, and one of the things I like about them is, and you probably noticed this when you're listening, is they just use all kinds of instrumentation.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
their songs are really varied. Like I
Yeah.
picked this song for you to react to because I know you knew we had spoken before about the other song, Do You Realize?
Yeah.
And this kind, in a sense, this is a little close to that in the sense that it uses the strings like you mentioned, and that kind of sound. And because their other stuff, some songs are like that, and some are extremely different. But they're not afraid to take chances, and I think that's really a really great thing with this band. They're
Yeah.
they're quirky as hell, and I like that. Like when we were talking about Bjork in one of our other reactions. I think we both appreciate that she takes chances, and she's going to let her artistry come out no matter what.
Yeah.
And I think with the Flaming Lips, you have that same thing.
And I think I've mentioned too on,
Both like concept wise, visual wise. I mean, they've done concerts where they're all encased in bubbles, plastic bubbles. So
yeah, okay. I think I might have heard that. That's wild.
in fact, they did a concert because they let the audience go and have their own bubbles too because of the COVID.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's really,
so tickets
yeah.
must have been a lot if you get the deluxe model. You can lean back in the bubble.
I was gonna say too that, I mentioned this before. When you talk about a band artist who um are not afraid to take chances, it probably helps to have people around them, um, their manager, their record company, the producers, um, to support that, right? Because you could be running up against the wall and like, no, this is your sound, this is what you signed up for us, to do. You're gonna
Right.
do this, and then that said, then I flip it back to the artist, that you have to give them, I think, a lot of credit, not only for being so creative to go down, take a turn and go here and then be so successful and like come out with some beautiful stuff like Radiohead and all like that. Um, but that, you can sell it, that, you're convincing, and I think that's a conviction, that, your creativity is coming from a place where, it's like it's part of your soul, it's part of like, and everyone is buying in, at that point, your success, your creativity, everything, and I'm just fascinated. I'm always fascinated about how songs develop, ideas come, but I also think too, like, there's a lot of hard work behind the scenes, a lot of stuff that, to get people on board, onto an idea, to get, you know, that that helps create the songs that we listen to, just how it all sort of comes up, I just took, because again, this band is just, they have just, drummed to their own beat and been allowed to, and they've had their success and they have their following, and And
How,
this song, yeah, and in a way that prevents me, if I'm not really kind of going and diving into, I'm not going to hear it. But on this channel, I have the opportunity, and then I hear it. This is a beautiful song. It's
how
gorgeous.
familiar are you with other stuff of theirs?
Not really. When I heard "Do You Realize," I did try to check out some of the other stuff. I thought it was a little kind of little, when I say interesting, you kind of smile when I use that word and stuff like that. So a lot of stuff was interesting. Um, sometimes I say interesting like it's really interesting. And I think it is interesting. I guess I wasn't ready, but with this channel, the bubble's kind of been popped and like, there's nothing stopping us, man, at
The
this
bubble.
point.
We're back to that.
Yeah, the bubble, right. Before we get off this reaction though, because I wrote it down and I want to see what you have to say. But did you get a sense of yes in this song?
The band, yes.
Yes.
No.
John Anderson in particular. So what's the lead singer's name is what's his name again?
Wayne Coyne.
I mean, there was a point in the song where he sounded like John Anderson. There was a point where the strings kick in, right? When he says, as we move from the past, then the strings kick in after everything has changed. And then some nice relaxed guitar work, kind of a little dreamy a little bit. And then the vocals come in, kick in, and it goes like
Oh, yeah.
soars a bit. That sounded so much like yes, and particularly John Anderson's voice, not just the band and just not like their production and their kind of style and sound, but also sounded like John Anderson, and then he
You know,
started to
he's got that
sing.
high
Then
pitch.
when he
John
started,
Anderson has that high pitched voice.
yeah, and then when he started to sing again, he sounded like until he kind of came back down. But I was like, whoa,
Hmm.
I was like, yes, John
I'll,
Anderson.
I'll think about that next time I hear it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then also I heard, I think it was the lead singer. I think he went, did you catch that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess you heard the song many
Yeah.
times, but
I've
in
heard
that
a
first
lot of
listen,
times.
I
Yeah.
thought, but you know what? Those kind of like little blemishes, I sometimes either they're intentional or like, I guess the producers when the Beatles did that too. Like, I mean, was it Taxman was like 1, 2, 3, and they sometimes, the decision by the producer, the mixer is kind of let's leave this in. For some reason, it makes the song effective, and it was kind of
Right.
interesting to hear that, but it almost kind of worked, it was kind of funny. I heard that and I was like, but it wasn't like, oh, what the hell? It was like, so yeah, so really
They were
good song.
probably all pissed off. Like, we had a perfect.
Yeah, and he had to go.
And then someone said, let's just keep it in. What the hell?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you put all that effort in, everything was on point except that. Yeah. Like, screw that. All right, cool. So you want to take us out?
Yeah, I'm glad you like this. And thanks for watching, and hit that like button if you like this, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet. And we will see you next time on Into the Music.
See ya.